Hey guys, it is January 2nd, 2021. Yes, 2021. And I'm spending no lazy time whatsoever getting started here. I'm trying to get this year off on the right track. And as I start to think about the goals that I've set for this side business that I'm running, my business called Packet Six, which does a lot of Wi-Fi consulting, and it is a side business that I've been running since 2017 alongside with my wife. This year we set some pretty big goals to try and hit with with sales because we've been doing pretty good as a side hustle, and now I wanted to share a lot of the journeys that I've gone through, the experiences, and maybe you want to try to follow in the same kind of footsteps, learn from my mistakes, and also maybe provide some input on something maybe that I'm doing wrong. But in 2019, just to share some numbers for professional services alone, I was able to hit 200 and about 219,000 in professional services. And then last year in 2020, as we all know that with the pandemic still going on, I was able to achieve 149,000. With this vaccine that's coming out, or it's already being distributed to a lot of different people, I was thinking that maybe business would start to pick up, but more so on critical infrastructure, critical businesses that run like warehouses, biomedical lab spaces, and but not so much for open offices. And usually, I've relied upon a lot of different referrals to try to make some of these sales. I've tried to uh, sell my services to existing clients where they have multiple sites, for example, and then through the power of the podcast that I run with my friend Francois Vergès over at Clear to Send, we use that as our marketing tool for our businesses. And sometimes we get work that way. But for 2021, I really needed to step out of my comfort zone and try to pursue sales. I have no training in sales whatsoever, and I'm not sure how I was going to approach it. So I picked up a couple of books to try and understand how sales should be done. I have taken some training. I did some training late last year, which didn't quite pan out because I just didn't meet the expectations that I was expecting there. But now I'm trying to teach myself some sales through reading and some other resources online to develop this new way of doing sales, because sales kind of has this negative connotation to it where you I mean, we all get sales calls, right? And I don't like getting sales calls, but it's those really poor sales calls that we tend to get, which is someone just calling you and then kind of assuming they know what you need and really pushing hard on making a sale on that first contact. Or maybe they're pushing something you don't even need at all, where it doesn't translate or it's not relevant to what you do. And so I wanted to learn how to do sales where it's not that same kind of tactic. I wanted to approach it differently and ensure that I'm not being too pushy, but I am trying to provide some value. But this is going to be a cold sales because I have relied a lot upon referrals. And I just think that you cannot rely 100% on referrals. Sometimes you'll go through some dry spells where there won't be any referrals. And if I want to create this side business into a full-time business, then I have to create some sort of pipeline to ensure that maybe I can create some consistent deals, close some consistent deals month to month, and then hit a target sales goal. So I do have a whiteboard because I wanted to break down these numbers because the first number that I'm trying to hit for 2021, it's a big number, right? Because in 2019, again, we pulled in 219,000 in professional services. In 2020, that dropped to 149,000. But I didn't do any cold sales um, no prospecting on those 2 years. So with the combination of referrals and maybe some sales that I do on my own, then hopefully I can meet a new target for 2021, which is 350,000. Now I think that is really a far goal to reach, but I don't mind trying to get after that because I am trying to push myself and come out of this comfort zone, be a little bit uncomfortable because we can't push ourselves and grow unless I try to reach for a goal that's going to require some work. So I'm going to write down here pro services and the number, the target that we're trying to reach here is $350,000 a year. And when I look at that number, it's daunting for sure. Uh, can I even do it? How am I going to do it if this is a side business while I work full time? Those are a lot of different logistics that I have to work out. But what I wanted to do was break down that number to determine how many deals do I have to close maybe per month in order to get close or reach this target of $350,000 a year. So I looked at my numbers for 2020, and the average deal size out of all the deals I did was $2,910. Okay, so the average deal that I've closed was average deal came out to $2,910.40. That was my average deal. Okay, so when I have this number here and I'm comparing that to 350,000, how many deals would have to be done in order to get to about 350,000? So we take that target number that I'm going after, right? So 350K and divide that by 291040, which is my average deal size. And I've already done this math and it comes out to 120.25. So realistically speaking, I'd have to get about 121 deals done in this year, 2021, to reach 350,000. Right. So if we have 120 deals, 120.25 deals, and let's say we could divide that by 12, but honestly, I'm not going to be working every single month, right? Maybe I can if I really hustle and be efficient with my time. But let's just say I'm going to take about a month's worth off of doing the side business. So we can divide that by 11 months. And so if we divide that number by 11 months, that ends up being about 10.93 deals or 11 deals that need to be done. All right. So now I've broken down the $350,000 target number down to how many deals I should be closing a month, which is 11 deals. And and that's the number now that I need to reach. Now, if I, and of course, I'm going off of this average number, the average deal size. And if I am able to close a higher deal, then that's great because maybe I can meet that goal a little bit sooner. But at 11 deals a month and me doing this part time as a side business and also having a full time job, it seems almost impossible that I could do all of this work by myself. But that's probably something I'll tackle if I even get close to about 11 deals a month. Maybe then I can bring in someone to help me to do some of the pro services work. But that goal of reaching $350,000 of pro services revenue, again, I don't know if I mentioned this, it's revenue numbers. That's the goal I'm trying to hit. So now I've broken down to 11 deals a month. And now that I've broken it down to 11 deals a month, I can start thinking about how many calls do I need to make, and it's not just cold calls. I'm looking at different ways to reach someone, whether that be cold calling them, uh, connecting with people on LinkedIn, maybe on other social media platforms. It could be some form of advertising the business somehow, whether that could be some sponsored posts. But I have to now then strategically do some prospecting. And so that's what I've been learning uh, most recently is how do I prospect efficiently, make sure I don't um, become an annoyance in doing it, and how can I do it in addition to just picking up the phone. So this is where I really get out of my comfort zone because I haven't done cold calling. And so now I have to create at least some scripts for me to get comfortable saying over the phone. Most likely I'll probably get some voicemails. I'll hit voicemail first. So I need to leave a message, follow up with those people, figure out what their email addresses are, phone numbers, um, their LinkedIn accounts, and hit them up from different angles in order to reach them. And I'm reaching people who would be my target clients. So people who've got warehouses, lab spaces. I'll test whether or not carpeted office space is going to be a thing for 2021. I believe that Wi-Fi is not going to be a big objective for a lot of people with carpeted office space, unless there's some companies that really want to bring people back into the office. But I'm really focusing on that warehouse space. And so if I know what kind of value I bring in and tackling their pain points, I can come in with the pro services and tackle it from there. But at 11 deals a month, I have to be making, which I haven't even calculated yet, how many calls do I need to make? A lot of calls, a lot of touches on that, because it's not like I'm going to reach an individual the first time I call, but I'll learn from this and see how I can adapt. And so I'm going to test out a few things where I'll do a combination of touches where I try to reach someone via phone and maybe some two other methods. And then I'll tell you guys what exactly worked, what didn't work. Maybe it's the language that I'm using, the words. Maybe I'm not coming in with enough value, or they don't see why they should have to work with me, or maybe I'm not addressing any of their pain points. But I'm going to tackle sales as a big portion of my business for 2021 in conjunction of working a full-time job. So that means I have to make some sacrifices, right? So I'm going to have to be making calls either daily or a couple days a week, but I'm going to have to schedule those efficiently, either really early in the morning before I start my full-time job during the day, and then do some calls and other touches in the afternoon after I'm done working. So definitely going to be hustling a little bit per week, but I want to see where this takes the business and where it takes me professionally. And this is why I put out a message on there on Twitter of having to get used to rejection, because I knew I was going to have to make some calls. So if you want to see some of um, the goals or what I call OKRs, objectives and key results that I've set for my business in 2021, you can head over to my blog, roeldionisio.com/blog. I also have the link down below scrolling right there, and I'll also link to it in the description of the video. But I don't know. Let me know if what you guys think. Have you done any sales before? Have you tackled cold calling, prospecting? What is your experience there? And if you want me to discuss more about some of this and what comes out of it, give me a like on that video, or maybe subscribe to the channel for a little bit more, in addition to the technical content that I'm providing here. But I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. Maybe this will be a huge success for me. Maybe it'll be a failure, but I have to be consistent and disciplined in doing this in order to see any kind of result, whether that's something good or bad, but it's gonna be something over time. And how many calls I'm gonna make this month, I'm not sure of yet, but hopefully a high number, maybe over 50 this month. I'll be a little bit conservative, but I'll document the process along the way because I definitely want to see the data and see what the trend is, where it's going, and what is and isn't working. So that's my discussion for today and the start of the new year 2021. So I hope you're starting this year pretty strong. But again, I want to thank you for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.